Morning. It is now 8:16.
Going down to have breakfast, and oh my god, my dogs are so kulit.
I'll just update the team regarding going back.
Are we going back?
No. So just updating everyone that the main reasoning is that a lot are commuters, and once you're a commuter, you're considered high risk for everybody else in the company.
Unlike other traditional online magazines or digital publishers, the structure of Wonder is very different because it's primarily run by the editorial and the art team, and a lot of us double to triple hat. Everybody kind of multitasks. It's also that way because I also want the team to kind of have that understanding of how things work, not just on their side. The Wonder team is composed of primarily 8 people. So that's me, Adie, Alex, Nicole, Cessi, Elisa, Albert, and Matthew.
My job as an art director is to create art daily for the website, to help align art direction according to Wonder's aesthetic, to help conceptualize art direction for shoots and projects with partners.
As Wonder's content lead for fashion and politics, some of the things that I do are write copy for some of the stories that go up on wonder.ph. I also have to cover events relevant to the 2 content buckets assigned to me. On the fashion side of things, I also produce shoots. Most of the time, I style the looks featured in the editorials. Most recently, I've been helping produce videos for the latest channel to join the roster of Wonder, which is YouTube.
As a graphic artist, I make art for some of the stories on the website, some Instagram posts and Instagram stories. Also, the teasers for some of the covers.
As a features writer, I write feature stories about pop culture, trend, people, groups we want our readers to know more about. I'm also in charge of curating our Instagram account, and I also cover a lot of events. We usually have a tracker that we use to keep track of all the articles that get released within the day. And when I look at that is when I start assigning a few articles for our graphic artists. If there are any specific photos that our writers would want us to use, then we sort of ping them on Viber, and then we ask them if they can send us those photos. Once all of those things have been done and approved, we upload them to the folder. That's how the day usually works. But in between, we have meetings for cover story, meetings for brands.
Do you think all the areas we listed out so far are enough now for you guys? Okay,
Yeah.
sige.
I have to be honest. I mean, I've worked for magazines my whole career. The thinking, because I came from print, online is not the same. If I may quote somebody from the grid, digital is the ugly cousin of print. And so the mindset is that, whatever you put on print, you put online. That's it. There's so much to do on the digital space, and the other hard thing is to kind of stand out. Your voice has to be loud but meaningful. I'm glad that that's something that we are able to do.
A lot of people think that working online is something that's so simple because you can literally access it from anywhere. But that benefit is also the pitfall of it because you're expected to be on all the time. I mean, I feel people don't realize that it takes a lot of mental work and emotionally managing yourself.
The 4-minute read does not at all reflect the amount of research, note-taking, interview hosting, and then the writing required to get that out there. But little do people know that it took you maybe 4 hours to write, 1 breakdown, 5 cups of coffee, 1 sleepless night to get that out of your system.
When we were still going to the office, I woke up at 5 a.m. I would leave the house at around 6:30, and then LRT, MRT, and then the bus. I arrive usually like 8:45-ish. Now that we're working from home, I wake up at like 8 compared to at 5.
There's no sense of time some days. They all just tend to blend together. It's hard to separate work and home because you're at home working.
There are just no boundaries when it comes to personal life and work. It's very difficult. But at the same time, I'm very grateful that I get to stay at home and be with my family.
Now that nobody can go on ground, the pressure for digital has kind of heightened. There are more meetings, there are more brands coming in, and even the brands that were already coming to us, now they demand more. It's about finding that space in digital, which was a priority before, but is now the top priority. So I think since everybody's shifted that way, the pressure on the team is a little stronger now than it was before.
I think I've developed like little pockets of joy throughout my day. So one of them is my dogs. Another thing is just these little everyday things that I do. Like I need to start my day with a cup of coffee. I need to get a workout in. It helps me get my mind off things for a bit.
I've also discovered how effective it is to work outdoors. So I've been working an hour a day in our veranda just so that I can be surrounded by plants and I can get some sun.
One of my sources of joy would be creating for myself. There are times when I feel like it's incredibly insensitive to post about things that aren't related to lockdown, aren't related to the protests happening here and abroad. I find that it helps me cope. It helps my mental health.
The team and Wonder is fortunate to be in the space that isn't necessarily affected in a bad way by this pandemic, by the lockdown. A lot of my friends are out of work just because of that. I know that I am lucky. I know that the team is lucky. So to kind of have that mindset throughout the lockdown also helps.
If you're asking if I'm doing okay, I'm not. Well, there are days that I'm okay, and then there are days that I'm not. I've been in meetings a lot, and there are days that you just can't breathe to kind of be like, okay, I'm gonna take a step back. You can't. I mean, where is that step back? And sometimes you get that feeling of guilt that you should be grateful. And as much as I'm grateful, I can't deny that, this has taken a toll on the emotional, mental, overall well-being of everybody. I'm so tired. I'm so overwhelmed. And then I cry. And then, oh my gosh, in 5 minutes I have a meeting. So you're like, okay, gotta put on a straight face. This is a collective trauma that we're going through. All things considered, I always say this, we are in a lucky position that we are able to work from our homes, that we are able to be with family. But I guess, it's different now.
Okay. Bye all.